Hi, I am Sharon Acoff-Sledge, and I am doing this video for FED 607, and I want to give some insights from Chapter 7. My two key takeaways in Chapter 7, and especially with Dr. Ely's video, was about purposeful sampling and methods for collecting qualitative data. And first of all, it clarified qualitative research for me because I get qualitative and quantitative confused, and the descriptions that were in the video about the types of qualitative data was very, very helpful in clarifying those two. And then purposeful sampling was something I didn't even realize we could do, but it reshaped my understanding of how participants should be selected for research, especially the type of research I want to do. Okay, so understanding purposeful sampling. One of the most interesting concepts from the video was the purposeful sampling and understanding it. And so, unlike probability sampling, where you would just really randomly select people, purposeful sampling sought like depth over breadth. So you want to look at the intentional selection, as it says, of participants and sites that provide rich, relevant information about a research topic. So it aims for selecting information-rich cases that other valuable insights that offer valuable insights into research. For example, if I wanted to know about trends, if I want to research trends in middle school education, instead of sending a random sampling out to all people or even all teachers, purposeful sampling would say interview or survey middle school teachers. And if I'm a middle school math teacher, so if I specifically wanted to understand something about math, then purposeful sampling would say interview middle school math teachers. Okay. So these are the different types of purposeful sampling. For example, snowball sampling is useful when it's hard to find participants, while maximal variation ensures diversity. So these are used in qualitative research to capture meaningful data. So what are some of the common methods for collecting qualitative data? And this is what solidified my understanding of qualitative research as opposed to quantitative. So some of the techniques for collecting qualitative data are interviews, observations, documents, photos, videos, recordings, those types of things, where you can't really have numbers per se, but you would realistically look at real subjects and how they interact with your research. So it gives us a unique type of lens. Whereas quantitative would be numbers, qualitative would be individuals. That's kind of how I understood it, and that's what stood out to me. So how does this apply to my future goals? Well, one of my future goals is to open a school, to run a school. Being an educator and being called into education, I don't know if a lot of you know, I was an engineer for many years. I tutored my coworkers' children for years, and finally I had to accept that what I wanted to do as a child, teach, was what I was called to do. But one thing I observed is there is some disconnect in how we educate, especially students who are disadvantaged, especially students who come from minority statuses. There's just not a one size fits all approach to education. There should be some innovation that would allow education to extend itself to different people. And I also look with the introduction of electronic devices early on in children's lives. Education is going to have to adjust. We can keep complaining about it, or we have to adjust. So I want to have a school where that is innovative, that is adaptive to different types. So purposeful sampling would ensure that I understand students, teachers, and I meant to put parents' needs in education. And qualitative data collection would help in developing curriculum because we're dealing with people instead of numbers. And so understanding these techniques would allow me as a founder of a school or founder of a method of education that would allow me to design effective programs. So my key takeaways from this was that purposeful sampling enhances the depth of qualitative research. Um, and by using purposeful sampling and qualitative data collection, I can create an education system that truly meets the needs of students and their communities. So thank you so much for your time.